good to see you. All right, last time on this, I made some sort of comment about how um in sound effects, I was thinking like when the piece's turn stopped, then we'd have a sound effect and then the other piece would go. Well, I thought about that and I lied. We're gonna put a label. We're probably also gonna do a sound effect too. Were I the player of this game, I would expect a sound effect, but some people are going to need text. So it's never really a bad idea to give the player two pieces of feedback for the same information. We'll make something up here that says whose turn it is. So let's make a new scene. And I'm going to make it a root of panel container. You remember these guys? They're the same thing that the question box is made out of. Panel. There it is, panel container. And I'll name it turn label. Cool. That's not right. It probably needs a theme. If we go to theme, and then my good friend quick load, we've only got one theme, so bam, she's themed. She has no text, so let's give her a label. The text that you put here does not matter because we'll change it later. And I'm thinking, so when this goes, I want it to like just turn on and turn off. And maybe in your game you would want the user to click it off. I think it can just go on its own. So I'm going to add a timer. Cool. On my timer, I reserve the right to change wait time later. We can adjust that as we need it. I do want the timer to stop when it reaches the end. So I am going to turn on one shot and I'm going to turn the timer on and off through code. So I'm going to leave auto start off. Let's come back to the root and we're going to attach a script, new script, turn label.gd sounds good. This is going to be pretty simple. Let me just delete all this garbage. We're going to play with the timer. So we need a reference to the timer. I'm going to come over here. What was it? Click and then control. Haha. So when this thing starts up, to start the timer. But when the timer times out, how do we know when the timer times out? You should know this. It is a signal. All right. Am I not on the timer? Timer, node, select. I have selected a node. I don't think it's showing me the timer properties. Hold on, buddy. So, okay, so there's the timer. I don't know why it made me do all that clicking. Timeout, double click timeout, connected back up to the root, up to turn label, whack-a-boom. When this timer times out, I just want the turn label to go away. So we're just going to call hide. I think we've talked about hide before, but just in case. See the eyeballs over here? I'll go into 2D to make this a little more sensical. That's what hide does. It just makes the eyeball wink, and it makes everything not visible to the user. If I've done this, if I run the scene, if I click the clapboard, oh, it wants me to save it. Okay, sure. It should go away. When she's good, she's good. Okay. Go away. I don't want all these. I have a lot of tabs open. I don't want that. All right. I am in my main scene now. See where it says canvas layer? I'm going to click that and I'm going to click the chain. That's the instantiate child or the instance button. And I'm going to instance my turn label. That's kind of a doo-doo trash place to put it. So let's move it. You know what? There's a couple of tools up here that'll help us. There's Smart Snap and Grid Snap. Let's turn Smart Snap on and just see what it does. Do I like that or do I want to try Grid Snap? I kind of want it lined up like with that spot. What does that do? Okay, that's probably fine. It won't be this wide anyway. And you don't have to do this, but I kind of think that the dice would look better over here. Maybe. Do I want this label moved down? Okay, I'm playing with it too much. It's fine for now. That is okay. So my beautiful vision. Let me save. Right now, pretty much all it's going to do is yell text test at us, or test text, and then go away. Okay. We want this to show pink piece or blue piece whenever the turn flips. Well, the turn flips in a couple of different places. I'm going to go into main GD, and I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. The easy way to do this is to write a function and just call it whenever the piece flips. So let's write our function. Func turn label switcher. So we want it to be visible. Oh, but we don't have a reference to it. Watch this. Yeah, see, Godot's going to tell me that's an undefined, I don't know what that is, not declared in the current scope. So we got to define it. Boop, boop, boop. I'm up here at the top in declarations. See turn label, click, control, drag it in. Now she knows what turn label is. Turn label dot visible is going to equal true because we want to see it. Turn label dot text. What's going to happen? Aha, yep. See, Godot get. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, Godot, fine. Is it really gonna? Do you see the problem? I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna put it's working right here. If you see the problem, yell it at the screen really loud. Leave me a comment. Tell me what the problem is. Turn label dot timer dot start. All right, let's keep going. If you know where it's gonna crash, then say something. So we want the turn label to switch. Let's just to test it. Let's just put it here. So let's call turn label switcher right here. So, I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to comment roll out. What this should do right now is I click, it rolls, the little piece should move, and then when roll equals 0, when we quit moving, the label is going to turn on, it's going to show this text, and it's going to start the timer, and then it's going to pop off, right? 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 One of the reasons why I commented out roll was I was hoping I'd get something lower than 6. Oh, it crashed! Okay, invalid access to property or key label on a base object of panel container. What's going on is that this variable, this label variable, is not scoped to main GD. If I come over here, let me open that scene back up. Turn label dot scene, double click on it. I hate all this spacing. It doesn't matter, but I hate it. If I come over here and I fool with the text on the label, it gets it. It knows. But its root doesn't have access to any properties on the label. And if its root doesn't have access to any properties on the label, then the main scene absolutely can't get them. So we just have to define it. It's not that serious. I'm gonna control drag it in. Did it. You gotta make sure the names are the same. I almost said nables. Label. Okay, so now it should work. I like crashing stuff intentionally because you'll crash things, and it's worth it to you to see like how to fix that, right? Oh, interesting. We're gonna go backwards. Ha 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 ha! It's working. Okay. It's working in that it doesn't crash, but there are a couple of problems. It shows the wrong text. This is goofy. The end user does not need to see this. And it comes up at the wrong time. Let's solve one problem at a time. Let's make it say pink turn and blue turn. I'm going to delete that. And we'll just do an if statement. It's not that serious. If it's the pink piece's turn, remember we've got a bool for this. If pink piece turn label dot label label dot text equals, we were trying to use the word pink and blue because I still don't think the user is going to see it as pink piece and blue piece, but turn label dot text. If it's not the pink piece's turn, it's got to be something else. And it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to put a space right here. Ta-da, turn label dot start. Okay, it will come up at the wrong time, but it will work. Watch. It is technically Pink's turn because Pink was still moving. Let's just move blue just to make sure. Yeah. Ba-boom. So at least the text is working. Okay. So this is, hello, where am I? I'm on dice. Dice has rolled. Right under where roll equals 0. This is definitely not where we want to switch turns, right? Or display the turn switcher, as it were. Control X gets rid of that. We've got a couple of places where technically the pieces turn end. Technically, it would, well, when it lands on any space, really, when it would land on a backward space, a forward space, a question space, or a regular space. So let's take care of this. I'm in direction.whichway.back. See this while loop? This is the thing that moves the piece. We want it to come up after it's moved, right? Great. So watch closely. You have to call turn label switcher outside of the while loop. If I do this, it's going to show whose turn it is every single time the piece moves. If I do this, it's going to look right. Same for which way direction forward. While piece outside of the while, you're going to put turn label switcher. Boom, boom. Okay. Down here at direction.whichway question. This really just controls whether or not the question box is in front of our face. We don't want the user to think the turn is flipped, even though it kind of has. We don't want the user to think the turn is flipped until they answer the question, right? So let's look. Oh, func on question box gone. So this gets called when the question box is gone or when the user has answered the question. I'm going to put it right at the end. Actually, after dice.click.true or dice.canClick equals true is a really good spot to put that, because pretend it's pink piece's turn and they get a question and they answer it. Blue would expect to take their turn when can click is true. So I feel really good about that placement. We have messed up. I'll show you. First of all, we need to set the test texted. If it lands on a regular spot, it doesn't show it at all. How do we fix this? Come back up to where we've got all of these game places, direction, and all this. Or just add another if. It's not a big deal. Game spaces, piece.place, direction equals direction dot which way. Do you remember what we called this in the enum? What just a normal spot is called? You don't have to remember. It doesn't matter. Godot will remember it for you. Regular. So if it's just a regular space, just call the turn label switcher. That's all we need it to do. I'm going to look at 2D mode real quick. See this, the turn label? I'm going to set it to invisible. I'm going to click the eyeball and make it wink. Save it. Because it doesn't need to like throw up test text right at the beginning of the game. That would be patently ridiculous. All right, let's see what I broke. Look at that. And now blue gets a turn. I'm wondering if I can land one of them on a... I can. Okay, so let's see if it works on this. Oof, it does. Nice. Blue's not going to get a question. See pink. Oh, pink's going to get a question. Well, I couldn't have planned that better. Does Godot use signals? Yes, I did get it right. Ah, look at that. Right when I wanted it to. Right when I... Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. I think blue's going to get a question. Okay, I'm going to be super greedy and just... It's... no. Never mind. I counted wrong. Remember, I don't have to know how to do math. Godot has to know how to do math. I'm going to do one last thing. I'm going to close this out. This is just being picky. But this label, it's not obvious from here, but it's obvious when we have it say pink piece and blue piece. I want the alignment to be centered. So horizontal alignment, center. I think that'll fix it. Let's look. Because right now it's left center or left aligned. I don't want that. Yeah. Okay. Much better. Much better. All right. I'm going to cut it here. You have an excellent one. Take it easy.